Brenda, nomás manténlo jalado, porque jalado así.
You would believe they will. Yeah.
That's three.
Mm-hmm. I saw it. I wish it was one where I was looking up. Oh, we do have a mic.
Yeah.
We got a mic.
Do you need somebody to hold it?
No, it should be good. Testing, testing. Testing.
Test again.
Test again.
Testing. Hello, testing. It's good. sorry. Good morning.
How are you? Thank you. That's everyone. I want to introduce you to Ivory.
Hi, I'm
Good to see you.
great to meet you.
You want to step up?
Yeah.
She's showing you a picture. Right here. Ivory.
I see the rail there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, so we're ready. I just messed it up. Hold on. All right, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Justice Journey Warriors. I'm Ivory Watts here with SEIU 2015, representing over 500,000 long-term care workers in the state of California. I'm here in San Antonio with my union family across the country because when one of us are under attack, all of us are under attack. We've traveled from Los Angeles as part of our justice journey to Louisiana, but we stopped here in your beautiful city because just miles from here, one of our sisters, Nicolle Forero, and her family are being held in detention. And that's not just not right, it's dangerous. This justice journey isn't just about covering miles on a map. We're retracing the steps of those who came before us. Freedom riders like John Lewis, James Chaney, and Andrew Goodman. Civil rights champions like Bayard Rustin, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Fred Hampton. And union organizers like Dolores Huerta and A. Philip Randolph, who understood that true freedom means the right to work with dignity and to care for our families and build our communities without fear. From New York to Chicago, the Carolinas to California, SEIU members are on the move. Because we know that attacks on immigrant families like Nicolle's are attacks on working families. When we continue to allow fear to divide us, when we continue to let families be torn apart, we weaken the very foundation that makes our community strong. Nicolle is not just our union sister from SEIU 925 in Washington State. She's a mom, she's a student, she's a community member who is building something beautiful for her community. She and her husband, Sebastian, were days away from opening a licensed childcare center in their community, days away from providing care that working family desperately needs. But on June 18th, while they went to court for a routine check-in, following the law, doing everything right, ICE detained them and brought them all the way here to Texas, away from their communities, away from their life, and most critically, away from the specialized medical care that Nicolle's 6-year-old son, Juan, needs to survive. This is what injustice looks like. A family following the law, contributing to their community, building a business to serve working families, torn apart and detained thousands of miles away from their home while their little boy's health hangs in the balance. Siblings, this is bigger than just one family. This is about the kind of country we want to be. Do we want to continue to be a country that separates families seeking safety? Do we want to continue to be a country that puts children's lives at risk? Do we want to continue to be a country that continues to waste the talents and contributions of people ready to serve their communities? Or do we want to be a country that welcomes those who seek asylum, that protects children, that recognizes that immigrants like Nicolle makes our community stronger, not weaker? In SEIU, we have a saying, an injury to one is an injury to all of us. And all of us here have been injured at some point. When Nicolle's family is torn apart, when little Juan can't get the medical care, when families in Washington who are counting on Nicolle's childcare center are left scrambling, it affects us all. And we're here today because Nicolle's fight is our fight. Because every working family deserves safety, dignity, and a chance to build a better life. And because no child should be separated from the medical care they need to live. And today we stand with Nicolle, and we stand with her family, and we demand justice. And this is why we are here on this justice journey, to lift up voices like Nicolle and to connect all of our struggles across our communities. Whether you're Black, Latina, Asian, disabled, LGBTQ, we want to show when we stand together, we are unstoppable. Now I want to bring up Charmaine Fontanet, a newly elected executive board member of SEIU 721, who will share her thoughts and a statement from the president of Nicolle Forero's Union, SEIU 925. Charmaine?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Charmaine Fontanet, a newly executive board member of SEIU 721. I am a proud union member, and I drive a trash truck for the city of Los Angeles. I am one of few women in the city who drives a sanitation truck. It's a job that lets me see the city. I have even had the opportunity to educate thousands of children about the importance of reduce, recycle, and reuse in an educational display at a water treatment plant. The fact is, kids love trash trucks. And 2 years ago, I started an unlikely friendship with a 4-year-old little boy and his family. Every Thursday, I'd see this little boy sitting outside. This one particular day, I picked up recycling on his street, and he was sitting there crying, and I didn't see an adult around. So I stopped my truck to see what was the matter. He said, "Because you didn't wait to see my mommy to see her pick up my trash." Soon enough, his mother, who I met afterwards, her family's from El Salvador, and explained he was a trash truck super fan, and believe it or not, I was his celebrity. Now I'm part of the family. My husband and I attend Joseph's birthday parties. He's 6 years old now. I attend his first day of school, and I still stop by and see Joseph on a regular for lunch dates. The same as Nicolle's son, who is inside of a detention center instead of basking in simple wonder of childhood. We need to get Nicolle and her family back home to Washington, where her community is missing her now. I would now like to read a statement from the president of her union, SEIU 925, Tricia Schroeder. Thank you all for being here today and for your dedication for fighting for justice for immigrants. An hour away from here, in an ICE detention center in Dilley, Texas, is our SEIU 925 sister and her family. Nicolle Forero, her husband Sebastian, and her son Juan and Daniel. They are asylum seekers from Colombia who went to court for an immigration check-in and were ripped away from their home and sent halfway across the country to Texas. Nicolle's 6-year-old son Juan has a serious medical condition, and was receiving treatment in Seattle at Children's Hospital. Detaining the family in Texas and threatening to deport them is literally endangering Juan's life. This is inhumane. Nicole's absence in community also has ripping effects for many working families in the Seattle area. There is already a child care crisis in the country. But now families that have been counting on Nicole's child care business opening are left scrambling to find care. Nicolle and Sebastian were ready to provide child care for special needs children, for foster care children, for families who have been on waiting lists for an opening child care slot. This is what a broken and cruel immigration system looks like. Targeting people who built their lives here, working hard, who are the backbone of our communities. It rips them away from their homes and their loved ones and endangers the lives of innocent children. But we are SEIU and we fight back. We stand up for what's right. We know what solidarity is. Being together is a beautiful reminder of the love, the joy, and the power of standing together in community. I can't be there with you today, but on behalf of 19,000 SEIU 925 members in Washington State, thank you for standing in solidarity with our union sister Nicolle. Together, we fight to bring them home. For everyone unjustly detained, to end this humane detentions, in solidarity, love from Washington State. Thank you.
All right. And now I am proud to introduce someone who knows about courage, a lot about hard work, and a lot about Texas. Representative Joaquin Castro has long fought for working families, immigrant communities, and a fair, inclusive healthcare system for all working people. Please join me in welcoming San Antonio's homegrown champion, Representative Joaquin Castro.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. I know it's a little bit early. Thank y'all so much for making this journey. Welcome to my hometown of San Antonio, a beautiful city with incredible people. I want to remind us of something, and really remind the nation of something very important about who we are, not just as cities of San Antonio and Los Angeles, but as a country. The United States of America became the most powerful, most prosperous, most influential nation on earth, not in spite of immigrants, but because of immigrants. Because over the generations, this country gave people a chance to build a better life for themselves and their families. And that was the story of my grandmother, Victoria Castro, who was from Coahuila, Mexico, who came to this country as a 6 or 7-year-old orphan because both her parents had died around the time of the Mexican Revolution. And the closest relatives that could take her in, and her younger sister, Trinidad, were not in Coahuila, but were right here in San Antonio. And the documents that allowed my grandmother to come into this country in Eagle Pass, Texas, there was a line on the manifest that asked the question, purpose of visit. And in that line, her relatives wrote in to live, that she and her sister were coming to live. And that is the story of so many families over the years, including the story of Nicolle, her husband, and her 2 kids. This is a test of our character as a country, whether we're still a country that welcomes people with ambition, who seek safety and freedom, who want to participate in our democracy and make us a stronger and more prosperous country. We have been told for a few years that violent people would be targeted, that bad people would be targeted. These were lies. We see what's going on. We see the videos of mothers being torn from their kids, crying in anguish and pain and fear. We hear the stories of families in detention sleeping on concrete, being treated like animals. About 6 weeks ago, I was in Monterrey, Mexico, to visit a young girl, a U.S. citizen, whose parents were undocumented. This young girl at 10 years of age had a brain tumor and gotten treatment in Houston, but she and her family were deported to Monterrey. And at the Border Patrol station where they were stopped, the girl, as one of the symptoms, okay?
Susan. Susan. ¿Qué sientes? ¿Cuándo comió? Last night. ¿Cómo se llama una ambulancia? ¿Está bien? ¿No quiere ambulancia? ¿Que la revisen? Por lo menos que la revisen.
No.
Also, y'all, if anybody else is feeling bad, we have a car with air conditioning and everything. If anybody wants to sit down, or we can get y'all some water or sodas or anything.
Thank you.
We're getting the car over right now.
I gotta say, the weather in Los Angeles is much nicer.
Oh, yeah. Our very own taking care of very own.
Tómele el agua como si fuera toda, lo más pronto que se lo tomen mejor.
Báñenla.
Bátalo. Bata el agua para que se todo.
Brenda, mueve la agüita.
Bátala. Ajá.
Polvito se vierte. Ahorita.
Entre más pronto se la tomen mejor.
Ajá. Es que le pusieron.
¡Yeah! ¡Bravo! She's okay.
Try to not lock your knees. Yeah. Try to bend them just a little bit. I think somebody was telling me that. Yeah.
Good to know.
¿El video? ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! SCIU! 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 When you fight, we win! When you fight, we win! When you fight, we win! When we fight, we win!
I'll just say it like close out and yeah.
Finished, no, we're
Yeah.
good.
I'll shorten my remarks for the Texas heat here. I know, and folks probably maybe have not eaten yet either. So I want to just say thank you all for being here. Thank you for, as a union, standing up not only for members' wages and working conditions, but for their very freedom. Thank you all so much. Your voice matters. You're making a difference here.
¡Bravo! SCIU! 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 SCIU!
All right.
We win.
And now I would like to introduce Anna Palacio, E-Board member of 521. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I think we're all awake now, right? My name is Anna Palacio. I'm a registered nurse and a proud member of SEIU Local 521. I'm here to talk about the loss we experienced when Nicolle was taken from us and the devastating impact this cruel detention has had on her family. Nicolle and Sebastian saw the need for childcare providers in their Washington community, and they stepped up. They went through months of training where they learned about child development, health and safety, and supporting children with special needs. They were preparing to open their doors to serve families who had been waiting for that much needed resource that they were committed to providing. When you detain a child care provider, you don't just hurt one family, you hurt every family that was counting on them. Every parent who had finally found care that they could trust and afford. Every child who was going to have a safe place to learn and grow. When children don't have that safe space, it negatively impacts their growth and development in all areas. Their mental, emotional, and physical health suffers, and often they are less prepared to enter school. Nicolle and I have something in common. We both care deeply about people and have dedicated our life's work to providing care. Being a child care provider, like nursing, isn't just a job, it's a calling. We don't do this work because it makes us rich. We do it because we know that every working family deserves to know their children are safe, loved, and healthy. Nicolle wasn't ripped from her community alone. Her 2 children and husband were also taken thousands of miles away from their community and thousands of miles away from the critical medical treatment that her 6-year-old relies on. Her little boy has a serious health condition that is currently being treated at Seattle Children's Hospital. Being detained has stopped that life-saving treatment, and the lack of medical care has placed him in an urgent life or death situation. Detention, or the separation of families for the purpose of immigration, enforcement, and management, is never in the best interest of children. These practices inflict trauma, disrupt lives, and undermine the well-being of young, vulnerable individuals who deserve safety, stability, and support in the form of medical care when needed. At the heart of the nursing profession is the belief that both physical and mental health are universal human rights, and we are guided by a mandate that goes beyond clinical settings, political views, or education levels. We are dedicated to the protection, promotion, and optimization of health, the prevention of illness and injury, and the alleviation of suffering. But more than that, we are committed to advocating for those in our care, whether individuals, families, or entire communities. Nicolle and her family must be released from detention in Texas so that they can return home to Washington, where her son can resume his life-saving treatment. And together, let's ensure that all individuals, especially children and families, receive the care, respect, and rights that they are entitled to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody for being here, especially our SEIU folks. The reason people are tired, they've been on a journey we traveled I think 20 some odd hours yesterday. We got little sleep this morning, so really thanking everybody from SEIU for being up this early in the morning. So give yourself an applause. And also want to thank the Congress, and thank you for being here with us. And also our partners who are here from IBEW Local 20. And James Berkshire from IOTC 76. I saw him earlier. There he is back there. Thank you, partners. Really appreciate y'all being here. That's it. Thank you. Go back to the hotel, get some breakfast. And if folks need a ride over, we're trying to get cars over here. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mic test 1 2 1 2 3.
You look okay. SEIU looks nice.
Remember this. Good. All right, so we're gonna start off with your name first. Go ahead and say and spell it for me, and look at me.
Oh, okay. Charmaine Fontenette, Chermaine, Fontenette, F as in Frank, Ontennette.
And what's your title?
I'm a refuse collection truck operator for the city of Los Angeles, which is a trash truck driver.
And you're here representing.
SEIU Local 721.
And explain for people who don't know, what is SEIU?
I hope we can edit this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because now I just put,
You're on the spot.
what are my initials?
Service Employees International.
Oh my God, Service Employees International.
All right. But labor union for service employees.
And a whole coalition of others.
Okay. Perfect. Why'd y'all come out here today?
We're out here on a justice journey, going in the footsteps of people that have been detained and for the immigrants that are being unlawfully detained.
And today y'all had a specific person you wanted to fight for.
Yes, that is, I'm sure you've heard in the local news, Nicolle Forero and her family and her 2 sons and her husband have been detained just here doing the work and just about to set up a daycare. And right before that happened, they were detained unlawfully, and her son Juan, the youngest one I believe, has a medical condition, and he's not receiving care right now, and they need to be back home in Washington where he can get the care and the treatment that he was, because it's serious enough for them to take children away from their families, and we're here fighting for them to come back home.
Why do y'all come out here and do this?
Because it's wrong. It's definitely wrong for you to take somebody who's here doing the work, here trying to give themselves a better way, provide for their children, and it's just inhumane what's happening around the world today.
What was it about this story that stuck out for y'all? Why?
Well, for me personally, I can speak for myself. I'm a grandmother of 6, and I have 2 children, and I was a single mom myself trying to work hard. And I became 20 years ago working for the city of Los Angeles, and they gave me this great opportunity to provide for my children by myself. And then I got married, and just because it's children, if you were to take my children from me, my babies, my grandkids, I couldn't survive without them. And that's why I'm here.
What do you hope comes of this today?
I want to see Juan come home. I want to see him get the great care that we have to offer him. I want him to be able to strive and survive and go off and graduate from high school, go to prom. I want his mom to see him grow up healthy and successful.
Are you hopeful that things are going to get better?
I'm wanting to keep hope that things are going to get better by people going out, being activists and doing things such as SEIU, making the journey so that people know we're here for you. Yes, that gives me hope.
Anything I left out that you wanted to add?
No.
Tell me a little bit about, y'all been traveling all over, right?
Right. This is the third day on a bus trip on our way to Louisiana, and this was one of our most pertinent stops to me, was for Nicole's family here in San Antonio, Texas. So now we'll be making the rest of our way to Louisiana.
Perfect. So do you know the stops that y'all made? Y'all came from LA.
Correct.
And then this is the 3rd stop. So what were the other stops that y'all